Hi, I'm Kerry Lord from TOFT. This video forms part of a series to accompany the Edwards Crochet kits, patterns and books. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do slip stitch spines. So slip stitch spines are something that will be used on a lot of the bird patterns to add lovely plumage detail. It'll also be used on some of the animal patterns such as the hedgehog, the echidna, the Poitou Donkey. It's a lovely technique that gives a really nice texture. So the most important thing to remember is before you start adding any slip stitch spines, you need to have stuffed and sewn up your animal. So you've finished your crocheting and you'll have put it all on and finished it off. Then all you need to do is decide where you're going to start. So if you're using this just to say add a crest onto a bird, it will be a specific point that you're working it in. If you're going to be working it all over the surface of something, then you can work randomly, so you can choose where to start. So to begin with, I'll show you working them in a straight line, and then I'll move more randomly so you can see how you would fill in the surface of the fabric. So pop your hook in at the place that you want to start, in through the stitch, yarn over and bring that through that stitch. Then you're going to chain the set number of stitches that the pattern tells you to. So say what I'm going to do 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what you're going to do is slip stitch back down that chain. So you won't be trying to slip stitch into this first one, you'll be going into this next one. So pop that in there, yarn over through that one and through that one in one motion is the slip stitch. Down onto the next one, so in that next V along, yarn over and through, next one along, through and through, next one of the V, through, and then down to the bottom. And when you reach the bottom, what you've got then is this lovely textured length that comes out of the surface of the fabric, but you need to move in order to do another one. Say you were doing a tail, for example on Pegasus, it uses this technique for its tail. You'd be working all of them into one stitch. So you just keep going, do your next chain and work it again. But ordinarily you'll be moving across the fabric to work them in. So what we're going to do that is to slip stitch traverse along the surface. So you've done your your chains up, you've slip stitched back down, and then we need to move about 2 stitches away from where we are at the moment. So put your hook into the next stitch along, like that. Yarn over and slip stitch through the stitch and through the loop on your hook. And then same again, move to the next one along, come through that one and through this one. And what you've done is you've moved 2 stitches away along the surface of the fabric. So then chain again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and slip stitch back down. So hook into this next V along, through that one and through that one, next stitch along, through that one and through that one, next stitch along, through that one and through that one, right the way back down to the bottom. And then you're going to do the same thing again, is you're going to move 2 away from it. So if I was continuing to do them in a line, I would be working this way. So I'd go into this next stitch here. But just to show you, if you are going to be filling in a whole animal and its body using this technique, it takes a while, there's no denying that. It's definitely the slowest technique, but it's really, really worth it because the yarn feels amazing. The resulting texture is lovely. So say we're going to move 2 up the fabric, all you would do is go into this next stitch here, so coming up the body this time, slip stitch that one in, then up onto the next one, along. So we're moving up the rows this time. Slip through that one and slip through that one. And we've moved 2 away from where we were. And then you just repeat again, you do another chain. So yeah, there is certainly no denying that it is a slow technique, but it's absolutely lovely. It's well worth it when you finish it. The nice thing is it's not very disciplined, so you don't really have to concentrate when you're doing it. If you have the odd one where it's slightly longer or slightly shorter than others, nobody will ever notice. It will look really, really lovely. Maybe something to note is if you find that yours are really curly, rather than being straight by mine. So you see how when I've made mine, they are straight, they're not twisted. If you find that yours are twisting, what that will be is the tension of your chain and the tension of your slip stitches will be very different. So you might find you have loose chains and really tight slip stitches, and what that will cause it to do is twist. Or equally, you could have really loose chains, or the other way around, should I say, is really tight chain and really loose slip stitches. So just be conscious of that. If you are finding that yours are twisting, then it will be to do with the tension between your chain and your slip stitch. So just try and even those up. That said, it is a lovely technique, a texture when they curl as well. So it depends on what you want them to do. Don't panic too much and just keep going.